What if the platform you loved, the one you poured thousands of hours into, decided that one day you were a threat? Not because you broke the rules, but because you were succeeding. This is the story of BotGhost, and it's a warning for every single person building a community on Discord. On July 14th, a platform that has served over 3 million users, used in schools to teach programming, and one that I and thousands of others have dedicated ourselves to, could be forced to shut down by Discord itself. Discord's reason? They claim BotGhost is violating a policy that, as we'll soon see, some of the largest, most problematic bots on the entire platform appear to violate the terms of service with zero consequences. This isn't just about one developer. This is a pattern of behavior, about selective enforcement, and about a trend that many are calling the enshittification of Discord, where the communities that built the platform are now being cast aside. So what is BotGhost? To understand what we're losing, you need to understand the dream it represented. For years, making a powerful, custom Discord bot was something reserved for coders. It was complicated, expensive, and an intimidating task. BotGhost was founded in 2018 by a solo developer named Tom, set out to change that. I believe their mission from day one was to democratize creation and open the world of bots to normies. BotGhost gives you a drag and drop interface that lets anyone, regardless of their background and coding knowledge, create something amazing for their community. From the very beginning, BotGhost's history has been one of slow, steady, community-focused growth, bootstrapping itself without massive venture capital, relying instead on building a product people genuinely loved and are willing to support. I saw this potential immediately. For months, I'd been working on a project called Viral. My goal was to build a true competitor to bots like Me6 and Dino, right here on the BotGhost platform. I've spent hundreds of hours designing, planning, and suggesting features to BotGhost in hopes of being able to match or exceed the level these titans perform at. The BotGhost community is one of the most helpful and collaborative spaces I have ever seen. Hundreds of us work together helping newcomers, sharing creations, and providing feedback directly to the developers who are with us every single day. This wasn't just a service, it was a partnership, and it felt like a true fulfillment of the promise Discord made back in 2020. A promise of a new future for bots. BotGhost was building that future. So, if everything was so positive, what happened? The story takes a sharp turn in late May 2025. A security researcher, no text-to-speech, discovers a vulnerability that was reported by a user of BotGhost who discovered it. This is a serious issue for any platform, but what matters most is how you respond. BotGhost's response, by all accounts, was exemplary. The vulnerability was reported, and within 45 minutes, it was completely patched. They made an announcement within their server notifying everyone of the breach and to reset their tokens. The founder personally thanked the reporter, paid them a bug bounty, and continued a deep dive into the security of their own platform. In my opinion, this is the gold standard for responsible disclosure. But this good deed did not go unpunished. Instead of recognizing the swift and responsive fix, Discord's attention was drawn to BotGhost. They sent a notice, not about the now fixed breach, but about a core part of how BotGhost and dozens of other platforms have operated over the years: the use of bot tokens. Discord's demand was simple: find a completely new way to operate without using bot tokens, or face shutdown. The problem? No such alternative exists. It's an impossible ultimatum. BotGhost even proactively asked Discord for a way to reset tokens to maximize security for its users, and it was met with silence. This is where the story shifts from a simple policy issue to a case of selective and punitive enforcement. To understand how absurd this demand is, we need to look at the biggest bot on the platform and its long history of getting a free pass. Now, before we dive into this next section, I need to make something perfectly clear. This video is not an attack on Me6, Dino, or any other bot platform. Many of these tools are beloved and have brought incredible creativity to Discord. We want them to succeed. This is an attack on the one thing and the one thing only: Discord's inconsistent and unfair application of its own rules. The issue isn't that these platforms exist, it's that Discord is choosing to punish one while turning a blind eye to others who operate in the exact same way. This is about demanding a level playing field for all creators. With that said, let's start with Me6. Sorry, buddy. If you've been on Discord since the early days, you've seen its evolution. It started in 2016 as a simple moderation and command bot, one of the first to offer such features at scale. Its early growth was explosive as it filled a desperate need, but as it grew, it took on millions in venture capital funding. Its focus began to shift from community service to aggressive monetization. And just like BotGhost, it offers a custom bot feature that requires users to paste in their bot token. Discord's own terms of service have a special rule for this. They say the platform can handle tokens if it acts as a service provider and agrees in writing to protect that data on the user's behalf. It's legal safeguard. BotGhost terms explicitly state they are a service provider, putting them in compliance. Let's take a look at two of the biggest bots on the Discord platform, Me6 and Dino, and look into their terms of service and see if they comply. In the Me6 terms of service, it states Me6 is not acting as an agent or service provider for the Discord platform. In Dino's terms of service, it doesn't even mention anywhere if they are or are not a service provider. Let that sink in. The platform-facing shutdown legally complies with the rule. The platforms that are given a free pass legally and explicitly state they do not comply or simply don't even mention it. So much for 12A of the TOS. But it gets so much worse. This isn't just a legal technicality. This has had real-world consequences. In May of 2022, scammers compromised Me6 bot itself, using its permissions to raid high-profile NFT servers, resulting in over $1.3 million in stolen assets. In May of 2025, BotGhost had approximately 8 to 100 leaked bot tokens, and that is just my estimate, as I don't even know the real number of leaked tokens. To me, it doesn't matter. How can anyone look at this evidence and conclude that Discord is acting in good faith? How can they justify shutting down a compliant, community-focused platform while ignoring the blatant issues of much larger, less secure ones? This isn't even the first time Discord has brought the hammer down on a bot platform. To understand how uniquely unjust the BotGhost situation is, we have to take a look at the case of Shapes Incorporated. Because once you understand what Shapes was, Discord's actions show their inconsistencies. Shapes Incorporated was shut down by Discord for violating the token handling policy. On the surface, it looks like a pattern, but the fundamental difference is Shapes was an AI chatbot company. Let's be very clear about what this means. An AI chatbot, by its very nature, requires massive amounts of conversational data to learn, improve, and to function with. Its business model is data. The concern was obvious. An AI company using user-provided bot tokens could potentially be scraping every conversation, every interaction in a user's server to feed it to train its own AI models. This wasn't just a platform that hosted bots. It was a platform with a vested interest in the content of the servers themselves. So when Discord shut Shapes down, the community largely understood. It was seen as a legitimate and frankly necessary enforcement action. Discord was protecting its users and their privacy from a platform whose core business model was perceived as being fundamentally incompatible with the user trust large-scale harvesting of data for AI training. In that instance, Discord acted correctly. They identified a potential data scraping operation and eliminated it. In March of 2023, it was revealed that a Discord support agent's account had been compromised, leading to the leak of user support tickets containing sensitive personal information. This isn't to attack Discord. It's to point out that security is hard, and breaches happen to everyone, even the giants. The mark of a trustworthy company is how they respond. BotGhost responded responsibly and immediately. Discord, however, is responding by punishing the victim, while ignoring the same behavior from larger, more problematic actors. It's hypocrisy, plain and simple. This brings us back to the enshittification of Discord. First, platforms are good to their users. Then they abuse their users to make things better for their business customers. Finally, They abuse their business customers to claw back all the value for themselves. Discord, a platform preparing for an IPO, appears to be deep in stage 2 and hurtling towards stage 3. Let's talk about the recent changes. In early 2024, Discord laid off 17% of staff, including longtime community-facing employees. They're testing mobile video ads and pushing quests that turn servers into advertising space for corporate brands. The controversial username change alienated millions of its loyal long-term users for the sake of being more approachable to newcomers. The message is becoming clear. The dedicated communities and developers who built Discord's culture are no longer the priority. The priority is sanitizing the platform, maximizing revenue, and making it palatable for Wall Street investors ahead of an IPO. The BotGhost situation is a direct consequence of this shift. They are a small, innovative competitor, and in a new corporate Discord, that makes them a loose end to be tied up, not a partner to be valued. This is a grim picture, but the story is not over. BotGhost has been transparent through this entire process and asked the community for help. Discord, on the other hand, is handing out copy and paste responses to its loyal customers. Now, it's our turn. The only thing massive platforms listen to is our collective voice. If you're a BotGhost user, you need to have your voice heard. If the BotGhost ban goes through, as it may, it'll set precedent that retroactively repairing exploits isn't enough to satisfy the service provider agreement. This is about more than BotGhost. It's about sending a message to Discord that we, the users who give this platform its value, will not stand by and watch it sacrifice its soul for an IPO. We demand fairness, we demand transparency, and we demand that the value these creators who make their platform worth using get seen. So Discord, will you listen?